How is everyone? I'm always staring at Colleen Ziegler, who is off camera. Say hi, Colleen.
Hi, everyone.
Yay! And we have our dear friend Laura Grass in the room as well. Hello. There she is as well. To wait to see when the camera is actually on for our YouTube monthly energy update. This is going to be for September. Not right now. A few more days. You gotta wait to unwrap this, even though you know what it is. You're gonna wait a little bit to feel it. I hope everybody is doing well out there. For those of you who are new, my name is Jamie Butler. I'm the Everyday Medium, and today I'll be trance channeling to allow my guide, Maitland, who is a younger guide, age-wise, and she'll explain all of that to you, to come in and give you the energy update for September. She likes to talk about the highs, the lows, what's happening with our chakra system, which one is going to be challenged, needed, supported, and then she likes to talk about a few crystals that you can use for the month to help keep your energy balanced. If you're here, you'll notice that our chat is only offered to our members here on YouTube. I do have a YouTube membership. We have 3 tiers. It's wonderful. We have a lot of offerings, from book club to meditations to spirit discussion and class frames and spirit Q&A, where you can ask your questions directly to spirit. And to honor them for our energy updates we allow them to have control over the chat. So hi, Luminaires. I hope you're doing well. Well, if you are sensitive and you are observing this video, whether it's live or recorded, you might feel a little shift. So if that's you, I hope you're enjoying. Please just step back from the screen, maybe close your eyes, a sip of water, or do my favorite, which is a little bit of nibble of dark chocolate or a little bit of coffee. That helps you get back into your body. Now, do we have everything? You can hear us okay?
We're good. We have so many familiar names. Shannon and Peter and Tiffany and Nancy. They're all here today.
So happy to hear that. And you can hear Colleen fine, because if anything is going on, Colleen can jump in and she'll be guiding the session as I will be stepping out. If you are someone who's looking for energy bursts visually and practicing your clairvoyance, check out the right side of my body, between my shoulder and my ear, not the wall, but just kind of here in space. For those of the people in the room sitting to the left, check out kind of behind my head if you can get right behind. I will see you later. Oh my gosh, I might not get to say goodbye to you, so I'm going to say goodbye to you now. Goodbye. Have a great day, and enjoy the energy update. I'm a little excited and nervous to hear about it.
Me too. It's been a ride.
It's been a ride for August. Everybody take a nice deep breath in together. Let's create the connection. Everybody observing and watching the recording. Hold it softly in your body and release it. It smells like peppermint on my lips. That's fun. Hi, Luminaires. It's Maitland. My name is Maitland, Maitland. I am 9 years old. I choose to be 9 years old. I don't need to be 9 years old, but I really enjoy it. And I still get to maintain all of the knowledge and experiences of my lifetimes. And I like to be young because I feel like when we're talking about really big stuff that feels out of reach, if it's delivered in a nice, fun way, then you're more likely to remember it and enjoy it and feel comfortable enough to listen to maybe something that really isn't, I don't know, within your reach at that time. So that's the reasons why I stay this way. It's a choice. I'm pulling my feet up. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. I want to say to all of the Lumi members that if you have a question about what I'm saying, please feel free to put that in the chat thread, and Colleen is going to be looking at it. And if you need to know more about what I'm saying, I really want you to have that information this is why we like to do it live, so we can make sure that we all understand each other. And I'm going to talk about September's energy, but first I'm going to do a little overview because we've just completed a wonderful year at the end of August. It has been a whole year of the first wave of spiritual awakening because August 2020 was it woke up more people than ever before on earth, and they were coming to going, I'm feeling more, I'm seeing lights, I know stuff I don't know, I know, but I know. And now they've been using that skill for a whole year. So we're coming into a nice celebration in a way, because now we have those experienced spiritual awakened people because they've had a whole year to go through it. I want you to think of September like an Oreo cookie. You have a chocolate wafer and you have some really sweet, good, yummy cream in the middle, and then you have another chocolate wafer. Whoop, like a little sandwich. All of it's good, tastes delicious. That's why it's the best-selling cookie. But very different energies twice in the month. So when we start off in September, for like the first 9 days, the first week, you're going to feel a lot of shadowy kind of ancestral work, and the way that the stars and the galaxy and the universe is working for you is really to pull up a lot of that stuff as well. So at the beginning, I'd like for you to think for a little while, it's going to be a mental journey, not so much as an action journey. And when those feelings and those aha moments come up of, oh, that's why I behave that way. That's my indoctrinated way. I was taught that way and I never knew to question it. And now I'm like, I want to question it because I don't know if it's me or not. That's like the first week of September. But it is going to come with an aha flare, like a, oh, now I see it. And now I understand why my great-grandparents and my grandparents behaved this way and taught that way and made this a standard in our family. And I know now that I don't have to carry it. So there's going to be a lot of goodbyes, a lot of cord cutting, a lot of releasing on the first week of September, which is great because you got tangled a little bit in August, right? Remember when I said those time frames weren't going to be so linear? They weren't, are they? So now you're all mixed up in it, and now you're seeing a lot of things with clarity, especially about where they came from. If you're not comfortable or know how to clean your own energy or the gunk off of your chest or out of your head, because you find yourself thinking in vicious cycles or feeling trapped or like in a dark space here, then do seek someone who knows how to do that. There would be a great time to find someone like a therapist, an energy healer, crystal, past life regressionist, doing therapies like that in this time, because the information from the past like that and from the ancestors are just going to boil up, especially like around the 6th and the 7th and the 8th. It's just like, oh, you wanted to know what it was? Here it is. Or even you didn't want to know what it was and you thought you could sleep through this? Ha-ha! Here it is. And you're going to be working through it without knowing that you needed to be working through it. But then it's followed by like a sweet spot. This like around September 9th and 10th and 11th, like through the 14th, really. That week, it's more of your intuitive abilities get really on point. They get hypersensitive, and you start to do weird things, like you go to someone and you're like, why are you doing that? And they look at you and they're like, because it's what I always do. And you go, but I told you this and that and that and that. And they look at you and they go, no, you didn't. And it's like, what? You were thinking about it so strong, you thought you talked to them. Like your intuitive abilities and ways to process and follow through with the how-tos are so strong at this time, you actually think you've done it. But you probably didn't. And so this internal journey that you've had for the first week, where you're dealing with more of the shadow work, the stuff that you don't really want to look at, which are those emotions you keep behind you, behind your heart and on your lower back. And if you're one of those people who really enjoy trying to run from your stuff, I wouldn't be surprised on the first week if you have more low back. Words say, I don't believe in therapy, it's not myself. This is not the time to say that. It's time to go, I'll check it out. Just try it on once, just one time, and watch how the energy just moves off those areas. Okay, so that's really like a mental game. Your word choice, your perspective, the definition of yourself, all of that is going to be mixed in with that shadow work and ancestral knowledge coming in. And for those of you who have already done your work and you clean your energy daily and you stayed on top of it, the information that's rolling in are going to come in forms of the aha moments. Oh, the light shines brighter because I have this added knowledge. And it's not going to feel like a call to action to cure, heal, or repair anything. It's just going to be added light shining on the information that you've already worked on. So the 9th through the 14th, you're in your head still, but your intuitive abilities are like rocketing. And they just kind of go up, and again, like the universe is aligning to really just boost all of that. And you're going to have to remind yourself that your internal world can not often be seen by the people around you, and you're going to have to behave very human-like and still follow through with actions and sharing the words about what's happening in your internal universe. Darn, it's not the month where the telepathy just goes born onto earth. We all have the ability because you're going to want that to be so true. So just be kind to yourself. You're heightened, intuitive, claircognizant, clairsensitive, the empath, the clairvoyant, the clairaudient, the clairgustant, clairolfactory. All of it's going to be heightened. And you're going to have to remind yourself you need to add it into your human communication when you're in situations. Because then when we get closer to like the 10th, 11th, and 12th, the intuitive energy has already been boosted, but it's like you're going to feel so freaking powerful. Like you can do anything in the world. You're going to feel like I don't know, like somebody made you a superhuman cape, or you're just out of the ordinary, special and incredible. And you're an amazing human being, and you're powerful, and you are all-knowing. And it's like the middle of the Oreo cookie is where you are. It's in the cream soft-centered where it's like the special spot. And you're going to want to live in it forever, I promise you. But it's not going to be a forever thing. But it doesn't go away. That's the key thing to take away. It's not forever, but it doesn't go away. So you're like, how's that? That's contradicting. But it's not. I'll explain. Because as we get closer to the equinox, which this is a month for the equinox, and which is all about balance, around like the 19th, 20th, 21st, right before the equinox, those days you're gonna get really numb and foggy. But I don't want you to think fog like, oh, I'm depressed and I'm in the dumps and I'm stuck and I can't see anything. I want you to think that you've been climbing a mountain, like Mount Everest, and you've been climbing and climbing and climbing. You had the intuitive boost. You had all these aha moments, intuitive boost. You feel really powerful. You feel strong. You feel authenticated. You know, it's like this heart energy just goes, wow. And you're climbing so high, you're climbing through the clouds. And the clouds are what the fog is. But you're still climbing. but you just don't see much. So it's very introvert. So all of a sudden it's in. And when you're in this, not time to do a lot of action. September has a lot of, it's time to imagine the how to do it rather than I'm gonna do it. It's, let's look at how. What are the details of the how? And so September is really lending a lot of energy to a manifestation month. And manifestation, even though after we manifest, there's a lot of action. Action is what grounds it into your everyday life and kind of feeds it and keeps it alive. But the whole act of manifesting is using action on your energetic bodies, and that would be mental and emotional and spiritual. And so you can focus on that from the first all the way to the equinox. You can say, okay, I've always wanted to find the right partner. I've always wanted to get a job that suits me better. I've always wanted to step down from being on the board of this. I've always wanted to move to the beach. I've always wanted to have a pair of orange shoes. I've always wanted to, smell fresh lavender in France. Like whatever it is.
What about all the above?
All of the above? Was I tapping into you?
I don't know about the orange shoes.
Aw.
Maybe.
I've always wanted orange shoes.
All the other ones, yes.
I only have black and brown shoes. So then you think about those things and you feel them and you put the manifestation skill, and then when you get into that foggy phase around the 20th, right before the equinox, that's that internal climb, because you're not going to be able to see. It's like having sensory deprivation happening in your life, but you're still climbing the mountain. And guess what? You climb past the clouds, out of the fog, boom, into the equinox, which is a perfectly balanced day, which takes you through the rest of September in this, I'm finding my footing. And this is really good. Now that I'm finding my footing, all that manifestation I've been doing, I can now have action. Now you can do the stuff. Sign the contracts, buy the building, renovate, have the marriage, do whatever you're doing, whatever action it is. So September is similar to August in the way that it has high-low. It's kind of like bumpy road, sweet spot to bumpy but up high, and then another sweet spot. And we end on a really good high note. With that, the chakras that are going to be challenged, needed, and supported. The one that's going to be challenged the most is going to be your sacral or your navel, the orange one. Hence, you might want those orange shoes, Colleen. Because if it's being challenged all the time, you're really going to want to support its energy vibration. And I would say the best way to do that, the crystal I would pair with it would be a sunstone. Sunstone sounds like it should be yellow, but it's not. It's actually orangey. But it has a lot of masculine power into it, like consistency, and it really bursts creative energy, which will help you problem solve some of the aha moments and the information that's rolling in at the beginning, and also help give extra energy frequency to the art of manifesting. And of course, in the middle, when you get that burst of leap into spiritual evolution, you're going to be expanding your energy frequency, and sunstone is really good in helping that as well. And with the solar plexus, it's all about the creativity, the womb, and how to give birth. And it's just going to be unsettled and pushed around a little bit, because you're going to say, I knew this at the beginning of September, but then it unraveled. And now I know why it unraveled. And I know that it was, I'll call them a ghost belief, where you believe in something that is not tangible to you. It was done out of blindness, blind faith, an absolute trust without any check-ins, a ghost belief. And so you'll discover those, and it will question, your creativity. And what's going to be needed the most is your solar plexus. The yellow one that's up underneath your ribs right here, that one's going to be needed more than ever. And that's yellow. I would use like a lemon quartz, or it's also known as a yellow quartz, and it's easily found. Is that the word? Easily, no B in that one. Easily found, and with the lemon quartz, I would carry it the entire September, from one all the way to the last day. I wouldn't miss a day. And if you like, well, I'll do that one at the end. The yellow solar plexus, of course, is about you. It's about your knowledge. And you're really going to need to know who you are and be able to access it. And a lemon quartz is more about a sunny version of you. And I believe firmly that when you are happy, you understand more of who you are because you feel more powerful, and you're more likely to look at the shadow and the dark side because you have the happiness anchoring you. And we want to balance that, especially at the beginning when the ancestral energy is going to rise up and the shadow work. Your physical body is going to shift a lot and moving energy to present shadow work. It's just the stuff that you don't want to look at. The lockbox that you put stuff in, you're like, I don't know how to deal with that. So, and you take the key and you go, and you swallow it. Well, the key's coming out and the box is going to be unlocked. You can imagine how the key is coming out. I don't need to tell you how. And that lemon quartz will help keep you really bright and sunny disposition so that you can manage this and not feel like you're going to dark places that you're uncomfortable with. So a good companion. You gotta know who you are. Again, September is a beautiful month to have additional therapy, life coach, a psychologist, a counselor, a therapist, a massage therapist, physical therapy, all of that, like body awareness and bringing up. Your body is going to be so willing. It's going to go, yes, I'll show you, yes, And we'll end the month with a lot of stuff gone off your shoulders. You might have had neck pain for 4 years. After September, you possibly won't have it anymore. Like, that's what kind of month it is. Work needs to be done. And the one chakra that's going to be supported the most is going to be the, because it's all this boosting energy and this very, I feel powerful and in my body and confident and amazing. And it's going to be centered here, right here. And I would say a good one for this journey, it actually spans over several chakras, but I would do labradorite, because labradorite will really help with those like ADHD and the rumbling and hyper thoughts that will come up because it's going to be a real mental beginning of the month. The mental body has a lot of interaction. And labradorite really helps with that because it will put light into places that light can't shine. Work is what it's called. Do you see how it all works together? So, and then labradorite also likes to cover the throat and sometimes heart energy as well, and it can reach up to crown frequencies as well. So you can blend talking about what you intuitively know, anchoring it in emotions, and sending it to higher self. So with the stones that I mentioned, the labradorite, the lemon quartz, and the sunstone, I would grid your bed, and it'll be really good, but I would make a change midway. Okay, so I would grid your bed with, when I say grid your bed, I need to slow down, I get very excited. Okay, I'm taking a breath. Okay. I'm still very hyper. I probably need 20 breaths. When I say grid your bed, I mean buy 4 of the same stone. So labradorite, 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 and then 4 sunstones, 4 lemon stones, and I would pair it with black tourmaline. 4 black tourmalines. And I would put it set at each corner of your bed. If you're really into sacred geometry and you want to be inside of a grid rather than framed by a grid, I would do 6 sets and put a set under the middle of the bed. And if your mattress is on the ground, you just put it under the mattress in the middle on the floor. And then I take another set and hang it from the ceiling. Most of you have a light fixture, so you can tape it to the light fixture, or you can even get into your attic and you can put it above, because the drywall is not going to stop the energy communication between the stones. Then you have a pyramid on top that goes to a pyramid on the bottom. And then you're sleeping inside of it. It's so amazing. Okay, and I would do that spread, that grid, all the way through the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, and then around the 12th or 13th, I would pull out the labradorite and put it aside, because it could be a lot for people, and keep the charging of the bright energy of the lemon and the bright consistent energy of the sunstone. If you're having a hard time sleeping with those energies around you, because some of you might, because you're really sensitive, you could either add at this time amethyst in there, or simply just take the grid away, because the first 2 weeks is when it's really going to be working with you. Another way that I would use them is I would simply take one of each and I would put it in your pocket or your purse, or if you're always in your car, I'd leave a set in your car underneath your seat. But it's time to be around them so you get those energies. See, September isn't that squirrely. There's 2 other points I want to make, though. The continuation of linear time frame being not so linear is going to continue to happen. Half of the crowd cheers, the other quarter goes, no, and the other half just doesn't know what we're saying. So when we live our lives, we feel like everything is stacked, like time is in a sequence. But when we're raising our frequencies, like you're going to get around the 9th through the 14th, your frequencies are going to jump higher. That's going to offset the way that you're doing everyday things, which is based on sequencing, which is time. That's how you've been taught time is linear. And you're going to feel like you've said something or did something and you didn't, or that it was a month ago and you did it yesterday, or that it's 2 months when you take this trip, but really it's in 3 days. So it's just going to be a little squirrely. I would say for those of you who are having a hard time with it, it's time to have a talk about color coding and getting a calendar and talking about executive functioning skills, because you're going to need to rely on them if you're really energy sensitive, and because this is all coming up. And you don't want to walk away from it. It's really wonderful. It's a completely new lifestyle where it's like, oh, you missed that, or you didn't want to do it, or you're going day to day based on how you feel rather than what your calendar says to do. It's a different style of living. And more and more and more and more and more people are going to do it. And this is the way that we're evolving. And it's going to reach that mass consciousness. You know, we're already connected and we're already boosting self-care, which is huge. We're also boosting respect to human. And we're finding more and more people stepping up and feeling confident enough and strong enough to change their names and change gender and change how whatever they feel that is not them and become more them. And there are more and more people out there accepting that other people have the freedom to change this. It's really beautiful. So you're not going to want to walk away from it. So to balance it out, I suggest color coding and not really looking at this goes after this and this is next and dump, bump, 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 because it just might hurt your brain. The other thing I want to mention is for my energy empathics out there, the lumipathics, that's not a thing. And that didn't sound good either after I said it. Lumisensitives, that's a thing. The lumisensitives, you're going to continue to feel a lot more. But the interesting kick in September is with your boost, your evolution, it's not about you feeling more about you and the information that you're engaging in. You know, like if you think about your child or your spouse or your sweetheart or your parent and you're like connecting to them and you're like, oh, I got a little information through my feelers. You're going to be feeling more than that. And now we get to talk about multi-dimensionals because this is the month. I keep saying they're coming, it's coming. This is the month where our first round of spiritual evolution is getting closer towards the everyday communication with multidimensional beings, or AKA aliens. I said it wrong. And that's going to be with the clairsensitive people, because you've been heightened to feel about you, and then this next round that you went through in the past, you were heightened about others that you were engaged in, consciously engaged in, and now you're being heightened to awareness on things that you're not consciously engaged in, but you're picking up their information. And so you're going to be sensing a greater frequency and vibration. You might not know what to call it or how to say it, but it's definitely going to feel out of the normal, but safe. It's not a threatening feeling. So I just wanted to throw that out, that doorway for the lumisensitives is opening in this month. Were there any questions or insights that maybe I need to know about or I can help with?
Yeah, there was a question earlier on. I can't remember who asked it. I'm not going to scroll back because I remember it. It was, how do you find an aware therapist?
Nice. Mostly by word of mouth. And most people don't like to speak up and go, hey, do you have a therapist that really knows? And they're, oh, you're going to see a therapist? So that immature attitude keeps us quiet and not asking. But you can get online and Google it. There's a few that we know now. Should we say them out loud?
Yeah, I was also going to offer, if there's any aware therapists in the chat thread, feel free to post your information, right? Because I think it's a like-minded community. Are you comfortable with me saying that?
Yes.
I've already said it.
Because I was going to mention Marissa Medin.
Okay.
If you have her information, you can post. I don't know if it lets you post stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't. I'd have to look up her website.
But I would suggest Marissa Medin. And then there's someone who's a little bit more clinical, but and a little bit more strong. I would suggest Meta Sweet. She does remote stuff as well. Both of them work remote, so no matter where you are. And then there's a bilingual one, Sweet's Portuguese and English, and she does past life regression work as well. Her name is Marta M. Pires.
I think Marta's in the chat thread.
Marta, you better put up
there. She's going to post it.
Those are the three that just run off the top of my head because I work with them as well.
And Peter posted somebody as well.
Oh, good. Thank you, Peter.
That's super helpful.
I would like to have more men reference.
Peter has a Peter recommendation.
Yay! Any other things?
I think we're good. I think our time is beautiful.
I was trying to talk very fast, so I get everything.
You got it.
Okay. How is September feeling to you now? It's good, and I'm more excited about the middle and the end, but that's just because I like to watch people go, oh, whoa, like the wake up. But the other bits, doing the internal work, it's super valuable because it's time to let that go. You don't need to carry it forward anymore. We're coming into an evolution point. Let it go. And the best time to let it go is going to be the first 2 weeks of September. So if you've been avoiding it, let's just take this as this is your sign to say, I'm not going to avoid it anymore. Those things that hurt me in the past and I've been carrying it like a wound, I get to set it down now and walk away.
Okay. Thank you so much, Maitland.
You're welcome.
It's always a joy to have you here.
I like being here very, very, very much. And I guess this is goodbye. But I'll be doing this again next month. And if you really like this, please share it. Because when we're all in the know or just experiencing or looking for things that really resonate with us, that fulfill our joy, then we're increasing our light, and that helps everybody else around you increase their light. So it's a good thing. So I will see you later, alligators.
So Tiffany had a couple goodbyes that she wanted me to share with you.
Tiffany, go.
So one was out the door, dinosaur.
I'll see you later. After a while, crocodile.
Be sweet, parakeet.
I'll see you soon, baboon.
Chop chop, lollipop.
Lollipop's not an animal. Can we still use it?
I think there's probably animals named lollipop.
Well, that's true, but it's not an animal. Got a job with hog.
Better shake, rattlesnake.
Oh,
That's a new one.
Do it again. Better shake.
Better shake, rattlesnake.
Better shake, rattlesnake. See you in the morning, unicorn.
Okay, so Andrew H is coming in with another sunset marmoset.
Another sunset marmoset. Marmosets are so cute. And wait, do it again. Another sunset marmoset.
Yes, you got it.
Another sunset marmoset. A blue kiss to the fish.
Got a jog warthog.
Bye bye butterfly.
My goodness, there's a lot of them.
This is out the door dinosaur. That's the dinosaur I wanted to. Out the door dinosaur. Another sunset marmoset. And gotta shake rattlesnake. I love you, Luminaires. If you ever need me, just think of my name. And you always know I'm real when you got the giggles. Probably at times when you don't need to be that way.
That is so true.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you,
Bye.
Maitland.